What is one profession where you don't ever want to hear them genuinely say oops on the job? I legit had a dentist say this one time while he was working on my teeth. I immediately tensed up and tried asking what happened, but my mouth was forced open. And as soon as he heard me say something, he told me to try not to talk, and so I had no choice but to go back to just being still. For some reason, once he was all done, I either forgot to ask what happened or I intentionally decided not to, but yay, that was incredibly frightening. Even if it seems nothing major came of it. Honestly, they probably just dropped something in your mouth and didn't want you to swallow or aspirate it. It happens. Accurate. Dang it. I knew today was the wrong day to bring Francis, my pet spider, with me while I was working. So I did hear someone say oops while I was getting a needle aspiration biopsy for thyroid cancer, and they were looking to see where to go in with an ultrasound. The doctor takes a stab and the radiology tech goes, oops, nope, that's her jugular. And they just kind of laughed and shrugged and kept going. So apparently I was the only one who found that untoward. Well, I'm glad I didn't read stories like this before I had my own FNA biopsy. Endocrinologist numbed my neck up really well and got samples really quickly. In my case it did turn out to be cancer, but I got rid of it. I hope the same for you. If it was a positive biopsy, got diagnosed in 2010. 3 surgeries and 2 radiations later, I'm clear as far as I know. I'm happy to hear you're good too. I've had 4 FNAs and I'm resistant to lidocaine, so they all hurt like hell. The first one was the worst because they did a core 2, which felt like getting a hole punched through my throat. Yikes. Mine seemed so easy in comparison. Lol. For such a small little organ though, the thyroid causes so much trouble for a lot of people. I didn't feel bad about kicking mine out. That is for sure. I kind of miss mine, but just because not having one sucks. When it was still there it was pretty garbage. I wish I knew what it felt like to have a normal thyroid. Weren't they 3D printing rat thyroids in Russia a few years ago? Where's my rat thyroid? I once went to the doctor because I had an issue with a nail root on my finger. He just said I don't know what that is. Let's try cutting it. I promptly started bleeding all over the table and he goes, huh. Well, that was probably a bad idea. I should really change doctors. Skilled and qualified medical experts are overrated. What you want is a comedian giving you advice and operating on you. Gallagher is my dermatologist. Pops all my pimples with his giant mallet. Bungee jump operator. No idea what the actual job title is, but I'm sure you know what I mean. In my intro to engineering class in college, one team project everyone worked on was a bungee jump simulation, where we had to calculate the correct length of cord needed for the attached weight to drop from a height, get close to the floor, but not touch the floor, based on the stretchiness of the cord or whatever. I changed majors, so I don't remember the details. Only one group didn't have their weight hit the floor. I knew at the end of that project that I would never be an engineer, a bungee jump operator, or a person who goes bungee jumping. Let me juice, everyone forgot to take momentum into their calculations. I don't even remember, it was so long ago, lol. It was most likely a combo of bad data, college freshman stupidity, unclear instructions from the professor, and no one knowing how to use Excel, which was what we were using for all our calculations. Oddly, I'm really good at Excel now, and I wonder if I could solve that problem if I ever came upon my notes for the class. I have a feeling it was unnecessarily overcomplicated. Edit. I met my husband in this class and just asked him. He continued on and is now an engineer, and he's pretty sure everyone forgot about momentum and everyone got their data from static loads, which was wrong for estimating the calculations for a dropped load. But we are both kinda hazy on the details because freshman year was, sadly, quite a while ago. OHW via Excel. That would mean you probably had to do some simulation calculations. Having Excel do every calculation again and again with just a differing variable. Yeah, I get how complicated that must be. But why didn't they just let you use algebra instead? I thought it should work similar to the calculations used for springs. And I notice how long it has been since I was physics class because I'm really confusing myself on some parts of the formula. Chef when they are chopping things with a knife. It was bad. A good professional chef knife can be sharp as hell. I have a good one. But I'm afraid to use it. Use it. It will change cooking for you. You can just end up with more protein in your dinner. Iron 2. I have 2 personal experiences that fit this, but maybe weren't that bad. 1. I was getting a colonoscopy, and the anesthesiologist comes in to go over the process with me and drops his clipboard, making papers go flying everywhere. He drops down to pick them up and huffs under his breath. It's just one of those days. I was like, great, I'm gonna die. 2. I had to get a wisdom tooth taken out. The dentist comes in wearing flip-flops, shorts, a Hawaiian shirt, and is limping. Plops down on his seat and goes, here we go. It totally looked like he woke up hungover as balls to come operate on my mouth. The best dental experience I've ever had was an old guy in a Hawaiian shirt who was acting kinda similarly. That's the only fucking dentist who has ever actually fully numbed my mouth before working on my teeth. I'm extremely resistant to local anesthetics. Unfortunately, if I'm gonna be fucked up while I do this, he's gonna be fucked up while I do this. I really don't want to listen to any screaming while I work my way through this hangover. Could you imagine your dentist leaning over you, sweat pouring from their sallow face, and he just pushes his chair away for a second, turns off the lights in the room, and goes back to work like, oh fuck, that's much better. Or if he gets the spins while drilling a cavity and has to lay down. A tattoo artist, the one I worked for, would say it all the time, just to mess with the client. 2 O's in Bob right. Yeah, got him right, there is. Bobo. Got it. This isn't as critical as some jobs, but when I was in school for computer it in the late 90s, our teacher always emphasized that if we ever have to make a house call to fix a person's computer, never say oops. People freak out. That said, I never want to hear the guy in charge of hitting the nuclear launch button say oops. I have a friend who is a dentist and he always joked that he never said oops when he makes a mistake. He just says rinse, apostrophe. Whenever they accidentally make you bleed, they just say itis bkcyoud on T-floss enough. Before I got braces, when I was a teenager, my bottom teeth were very close together, with some of them being pushed forward due to being too close. To remedy this, they took sandpaper and sawed between my teeth to file them down and create more space. As a result, I was bleeding everywhere because they rubbed sandpaper between my teeth. You're bleeding because you need to floss more is what they told me. I can hear that and feel it in my teeth, and I hate it so much. A mime. Touche. What did you just call me? Before it was automated, the guy operating railway junctions remotely, too much Thomas and Friends has taught me that the signalman will usually mess up once and then get fired. #executed, you know. Just like they did on Thomas and Friends. It's been a while. I should rewatch it. Oops, and it can mean anything from oops. Accidentally reset the wrong password to oops. Accidentally pushed a patch requiring a reboot and now every server is rebooting. Source, it person. Or in the case of Tom Scott, accidentally making thousands of irreversible changes to a database. Surgeon. You know what they say. Surgery is just stabbing someone back to life. This is why you aren't a surgeon. Who says I'm not? Your lack of medical license evidenced by your definition of surgery. My dad was cutting my hair to about an inch long when I was about 8 years old. He was trimming the front of my hair and I hear him say oops. Big, square bug chunk that connected to my forehead, lol. Laser eye removal person edit. Oops, bro. After I got my eyes removed with lasers, I could finally shoot sharks out of my eyes. If looks could kill. Nuclear missile operator. A pilot. Attention passengers. Whoops. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines. Looks like I picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue. Surely you can't be serious. Barber. Well, hair grows back-ars. I don't. Happened to me when I was like 13. Luckily it was just a sliver. Unluckily it was my good ear and not the pointy elf ear that cold views a little off the top. Yep. That's the reason my mom stopped cutting my hair when I was a kid. The screams and blood were pretty traumatizing. For her, too. Yeah, that was the last time for mine as well. Airplane pilot. Surgeon. Prostitute. One of those is unique. Haven't read that yet on these questions. What scenario would a prostitute say? Oops, I don't need sleep, I need dancers. Oops, see you in 9 months. Oops, broke your penis. Apostrophe. Dentist. Root canal on the wrong tooth. Hey, free root canal. Had a tattoo artist say it while tattooing the inside of my lip. Got the tattoo for free, and to this day I have a hidden typo. No regrets. No regrets. Bomb squad. They don't usually have time to vocalize it. Nuclear engineer when they are working in the control room of a nuclear reactor. It's not 3 Ronchian. It's 15,000. Not great. Not terrible. A medical specialist. A good friend had to have a spinal tap for intracranial hypertension. She had no one to go with her, and she was very scared. So I went with her, so she wouldn't be alone. As the neurology registrar put the needle in, he says oh shit under his breath, but loud enough that we both heard. My friend suddenly says, is it supposed to feel like it's in my lung? The registrar looked at his supervisor with a look of sheer panic. Luckily my friend was lying face down, so she couldn't see what was happening. The supervising neurologist took over, pulled the needle out, and put it in correctly, at which point my friend let out an awful cry and the procedure was done within a couple minutes. I told her what happened the next day, figured no point scaring her while she needed to relax recover. Well, in this case you've had a combination lung and spinal tap. So while not strictly normal, it is normal for this particular procedure. /dying. I heard my dentist say oops. I was having a tooth removed, and before he even started, the dumbass injected his own finger with the anesthetic. Still went ahead with the tooth extraction though mayo. Look up Tim Conway dentist. The skit was inspired by an incident like yours. Air traffic controller. A mohel. For all you Gentiles out there, a mohel is the person who performs the bris, traditional Jewish circumcision. Mohel zero tolerance for mistakes though. I hear if they miss they get the sack. You know what you call a budget circumcision, a ripoff. Doctor doing your prostate exam. How about circumcision? We have a local doc that does circumcisions at no charge. Apparently he does it for the tips and the chance to get ahead. Skyscraper window washer. LASIK. Accidentally cutting out my eye then cutting the other one to make it look even. If you are new to Tattletale TV, please subscribe. I have new videos every day. Stay tuned right now for another.